You ever feel that deep, deep frustration? I mean, you are doing everything by the book. You're eating clean, you're hitting the gym, but that number on the scale just will not budge. It is so disheartening, but I promise you, it is not just you. Okay, let's really get into this and figure out what's actually going on. This is the million-dollar question, right? You're putting in all this effort, you're seeing disciplined, and what do you get? Crickets from the scale. It feels like there's a huge piece of the puzzle missing. Well, let's go find those missing pieces together. Okay, let's treat this like a detective story. The case of the unmovable scale. It turns out there are clues hidden all over the place, in our biology, in our daily habits, that can explain exactly what's happening. Right, first things first, and this is so important. This is not a willpower problem. Your body is this incredibly smart, super complex machine, and it's got all these survival systems that have been perfected over thousands of years. And sometimes those very systems are what's holding you back. So let's start with the biggest suspect in our little mystery, your body's own defense system. It's designed to keep you safe, but when you're trying to lose weight, that protection can feel a lot more like a roadblock. And here we go, our first major clue. Metabolic adaptation. This is a huge one, and honestly, it explains so much about that dreaded weight loss plateau. Okay, so this is your body's ancient survival brain kicking in. When it notices you're eating less for a while, it panics a little bit. It thinks, uh-oh, there's a famine. So it cleverly slows everything down to save energy. It gets more efficient, which means it starts burning fewer calories to do the exact same things. So how do you outsmart this ancient programming? You gotta recalibrate it. You can do this by taking planned breaks from your diet, by building more muscle with strength training, because muscle burns more calories, and making sure you're getting enough protein. All of this sends a signal to your body that says, hey, it's cool, we're not starving, and it can start to ramp things back up. Now this might be the most backward-sounding idea we talk about, but it is absolutely critical. Sometimes the problem isn't that you're eating too much, it's that you might actually be eating too little. This really gets to the heart of what your body cares about most, survival. If you cut your calories too drastically, it can flip a switch into starvation mode. Your body then starts to cling to its energy reserves, body fat, for dear life because it has no idea when it's going to get a proper meal again. So the key takeaway here is all about balance. The sweet spot is a calorie deficit that's gentle enough to encourage fat loss without setting off all the emergency alarm bells in your body. We're aiming for sustainable, not shocking the system. Okay, so we've looked at our deep biology, but what about those sneaky saboteurs that are just hiding in plain sight in our everyday routines? These things can totally throw us off course without us even noticing. This one gets almost everyone. You're trying so hard to eat healthy, but the calories are adding up in ways you just never expect. Now, take a look at this list. These are all amazing, nutrient-packed foods. But that's the trap, right? They are also super calorie-dense. A little extra olive oil in the pan, one too many spoonfuls of peanut butter in your smoothie, boom. It can easily be enough to wipe out your calorie deficit for the day. The fix here is pretty simple, but it does take a bit of mindfulness. Actually using measuring cups and spoons, maybe a food scale for a little while, and just being really honest in your food log, it can be a total game changer. It's not about restriction, it's just about awareness. All right, on to our next saboteur. This one does its dirty work while you're supposed to be resting. Not getting enough good quality sleep can have a direct chemical effect on how hungry you feel and what you crave. It really boils down to two key hormones. When you're tired, your body makes more ghrelin, that's the go eat something hormone. At the same time, it makes less leptin, which is the okay, I'm full now hormone. So you're getting a chemical double whammy that makes you want more food and makes it harder to feel satisfied when you do eat. So the solution is beautiful in its simplicity, even if it's not always easy to pull off in the real world. Just making it a priority to get 7 to 8 hours of quality sleep can totally reset your hunger hormones. It gives you a much fairer fight against cravings the next day. It is one of the most powerful tools you have, for real. Okay, now let's go one level deeper. Sometimes the problem isn't just about calories in, calories out, or even sleep. It's about some really powerful hormonal signals that are pulling the strings behind the scenes. So here are 3 of the big players. Chronic stress cranks up your cortisol, which tells your body to store fat, especially around your belly.
Insulin resistance means your body isn't great at using carbs for energy, so it just stores them as fat instead. And then you have underlying conditions like thyroid issues or PCOS, which can make losing weight feel like an uphill battle.
And look, while things like managing stress and exercising definitely help, this is the point where professional help is so key. If you even suspect that one of these deeper issues might be what's going on, the absolute most important thing you can do is talk to your doctor and get the right tests done. Okay, for our last section, I want to pitch a kind of radical idea. What if the scale is simply the wrong tool for the job? Let's totally rethink how we're even defining progress. Here's the deal with that number on the scale. It is just one piece of data. And frankly, it's not a very good one. It goes up and down with water weight, hormones, what you ate yesterday, and most importantly, it has no clue how to tell the difference between a pound of fat and a pound of muscle. This comparison right here is everything. On the left side, you've got the scale, a single, moody, often misleading number. But on the right, that's true progress. How your jeans fit, the inches you've lost from your waist, seeing a change in progress photos, feeling stronger at the gym. These are the things that actually matter. You could be taking awesome, healthy muscle and losing fat at the same time, and the scale might not move at all. And really, that's what I want to leave you with. Let's try to shift our focus. What if we measured our success by how much energy we have, by how strong we feel, by our confidence, our health? What if the goal wasn't just to lose weight, but to gain a whole new life? Definitely something to think about.